Hey guys, I'm Helena. So, just a little outlook, just a little, excuse for the last few weeks and that I wasn't here. Um, yeah, that's more or less everything. First of all, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you had a nice Christmas break. If you had a Christmas break, if not, I'm sorry. Um, Hanukkah break, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, first of all, I'm so sorry that I wasn't here for the last, what is it, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. I'm so sorry. I had to write my bachelor's thesis. Yay. And I had to hand it in like 2 weeks ago, and it was a lot of work for some reason. And I'm still every day thinking like, oh, maybe I forgot that. Maybe hopefully he doesn't notice this. And yeah, I'm not gonna say what I hope he does notice. Because if for some reason he found this channel, then he might deduct me points if I say it. But anyway, it was about Shakespeare musicals basically, and I got a little Wagner in. Come on, you know me. Wagner's gonna be in everything I do. I got my Wagner in. I even got Singing in the Rain in for some reason, which is a not Shakespeare musical. It was primarily about West Side Story, which is based on Romeo and Juliet, and Kiss Me Kate, which is based on The Taming of the Shrew. Both very interesting musically, by the way, if you like to check it out. Yeah, so that was my bachelor's thesis, and I had to write a lot, like in the last 4 or 5 weeks before I had to hand it in. So I didn't really have time to, first of all, think about anything else but those musicals, and then to film. Because like every afternoon I was sitting like this, not like this because I can't do this, and for me it's this. Sorry. Um, so this is why I couldn't be here the last few weeks. But we have a very nice year ahead of us, Wagner-wise, obviously, always. But I don't know if you have noticed it, but we are now an exclusively Wagnerian channel. This is nothing else but Wagner. Everything is Wagner related for some reason. So this is what we're gonna do, obviously, from now on, always. And so what we're gonna do this year, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's the 150-year anniversary of the Bayreuth Festspielhaus and the complete first production of The Ring. As we all know, Rheingold and Valkyrie were prematurely staged in Munich against Wagner's wishes, but we do not count that. We don't count that. It's just 150 years, Ring. Okay, so this year it's gonna be Bayreuth, obviously. We're gonna go there, and with we, I mean, well, my cell phone and me. And hopefully I can give you a review of the new Ring. I'm sorry, it's so painful for me to say the new Ring because it means that my beloved Schwarz Ring is not in store anymore. Anyway, so the new Schwarz... yeah, that's what we call a Freudian slip. I wish it would have been a new Schwarzring, but no. The new Ring, which got a combination of numbers behind it, which is like this 10 thing. Apparently it means 150. I'm not so much into these things. You might have noticed that I'm much more of a theatre girl. So it's supposed to be the ring for the 150 years. It's not, it's half scenic, I think, if I remembered correctly. I will go there for the first ring, which is crazy, and I got like literally the best seat in the house, which makes me think that someone in Bayreuth sees these videos and thinks, okay, she's good enough that we can get her a nice seat, because it's absurdly nice. Like, it's the second row, and no one wants to sit in the first row. I said last year in the first row. It's a bit of a situation, and I'm tall. I am tall. I'm like 1 meter 72 tall. And for me, it's this situation. I don't know how people did it in the 19th century. Anyway, so literally best seat in the house, in my opinion. Thank you so much. If anyone from Bayreuth is watching this and had something to do with this, thanks. Yeah. So this is the Bayreuth thing. I was really afraid in the first months of this, after I don't know, probably I haven't seen the last video I did about the advent calendar, but I was really, really afraid because my mother was, for the first time, she signed herself in because she can't sit where I sit and I can't sit where she sits, because she wants the really nice chairs, like really far away, and I don't care about the chairs. I want to sit close and I want to see the faces of the singers, of the actors. That's why I love about sitting so close to the stage. So we weren't able to have, like, in 2 different categories, a seat each. It's not possible. So my mom went to make her own. She like asked of her own for a seat, and she got her response really early, and nothing for me, like for the ring 1, even though she's the first time that she she wanted to go there with her own name. She went with me, but she didn't go on her own. So I didn't get any response for weeks after my mom, and it was like, I think, until mid-November, and I went online to like where you see what you have to pay and where you've got your seat, etc., because obviously you get a letter, but you can see it also online. So I went online every few days and was like, please just have like something for me. I don't care where I sit. I don't care, as long as I can be in it. And then I think on the 13th of November, so until 15th, you get the message if you get in, if you get a card. And on the 13th, I looked online and there was like, yeah, 2026, ring 1, row 2. It was absurd. And I was so thankful. I cried, which was not the wisest idea, because we like went to the circus the same evening. So I'm not very often, I don't have very often makeup on my face, unless I talk with you or I go on stage or it's a really great evening, and that was a really great evening. So I was so trying not to have my mascara run down my face because I was crying so hard, because I was so happy because of that. And my mom cried also because she would have had to go to the ring on her own, which she didn't really want, which is a shame, really, but well. So yeah, that's my ring story. And for fun, I went, I think it was the 1st December, when it was like the online immediately, online Sofortverkauf, you know what I mean, when you could go online and then have your seats, buy your seats directly. And I told you this, by the way, you can't say I didn't tell you. If you had watched my video, you would have known. Anyway, so I went online anyway to just see how long it would take for everything to sell out. It was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It was insane. And there were no cars left for the ring whatsoever. So if I hadn't gotten my tickets, I would have been screwed. But luckily I did. So this is what my year looks like. Really, it's really boring. Everything evolves around Wagner, which you know. And yeah, so this is the primary thing. We're going to go to Bayreuth to see Wagner. Yeah, you know what I mean. Maybe I can do like another bench thing where I can film myself and then tell you while it's still running what I think of it. I'm gonna tell you now that I love Erda. It's a thing. Come on, she's a phenomenal actress. She's a phenomenal singer. I'll stand by it, honestly. I think there's no singer I have seen more often on stage than Christa Meyer, and only in Bayreuth. it's really funny. Anyway, so this is kind of the plan for this year. Also, kudos to Klaus Florian Vogt. Have you looked at this online? Like, who's going to sing in the ring? He's singing in all four. He's singing Loge, Siegmund, and Siegfried. Both Siegfrieds, by the way. Siegfried and Götterdämmerung Siegfried. This is insane for any singer. Like, respect for that he, I don't want to say think he can do it, but that he trusts himself enough to say, I'll be able to do that. I think that's great. So happy for him. Also so happy that they let him do this. I hope everything goes well. I just got to knock on wood. Sorry, I like Taylor Swift. I'll stand by it. Every time I do this now, I'll sing her song. Anyway. The non-explicit version, by the way. Just saying. So, and I thought that Klaus Florian Vogt would be the singer who had the most to do over this time. I think that would be, since the ring is played 3 times, he'll be on stage 12 times, which is insane for a month. We're only talking about a month or so. But actually, I think Andreas Schager beats him. He plays Rienzi, and that's, I think, all he plays. And Rienzi's, I think, played 13, 14 times. So he beats Klaus Florian Vogt like by a teeny tiny bit. Well, I won't see Rienzi because let's just say I've never heard it. And for me, it takes a while to fall in love with something, even if it's Wagner. I didn't like Meistersinger for a very long time. I watched it on DVD, I think once, in the very early stages of my Wagnerianism. And then I didn't see it for a long time. And like a year ago, less than that, I watched it again and then was like, oh, this is good. And now, like, even, I think today I spent at least an hour on Meistersinger. It's really absurd. So, it takes a while for me to fall in love with something, and since I'm already going into to see the ring, also, Wagner didn't want Rienzi to be staged in Bayreuth. The master has spoken. Yeah, so this is gonna be what's happening in Bayreuth this year. Primarily, I think there's... Wait, what are they all... They're playing Rienzi. They originally wanted to do all the 10 grand ones plus Rienzi. Now they do Rienzi, they do Holländer, they don't do Tannhäuser, they don't do Lohengrin, they don't do Tristan. They don't do Meistersinger, which I think is a shame because I would have seen it 100%. I just wanted to see the production first before I went into it. So this is why I didn't go last year, and I didn't think they would only play for 1 year. They don't do Meistersinger. They do the Ring, obviously, and they do Parsifal. So it's basically 2, 3, 4, and 5 that are not played, which is still an impressive amount. If you think about it, I don't know, it's good and bad that they don't play the whole thing. I would have liked to see Lohengrin again, just because it was so good. And I mean, Christian Thielemann. Do we really need to talk about Christian Thielemann? I don't think we do. My mom almost cried when I told her that he would be conducting the Ring this year, She loved it, and she loves him, and she she cries at the overture to Lohengrin if Telemann does it. Also, for if by any chance my instruments and partitura lecturer sees this, no, Elektra is not the best opera. It's just not. It's not. It's Lohengrin. Let's just say what it is. And also for everyone who doesn't think that it's Lohengrin, let's just remember that Tristan, Meistersinger, The Ring, and Parsifal are not operas. Didn't want to call it those. So if we're talking about Wagnerian operas, it's only Dutchman, Tannhäuser, and Lohengrin. So I stand by it. I think Lohengrin's the best opera. Anyway, just in case that he sees that, in case my old music teacher sees this, no, Tannhäuser is still not a part of The Ring. Sorry. Different mythology. Can't do anything against that. Yeah, there is currently a lot of Wagner in my life because the only course I have to still fulfill and to write an exam in is musicology. So, which I hate, by the way. I'm not good at numbers. You may have noticed that. And there's a lot of just learning by heart, and I'm not good at this. I'm better at thinking through stuff. So musicology, it freaks me out, and I've failed this exam already before. So yeah, so there's a lot of Wagner currently. We had Wagner last week, we had Wagner this week. It's just a lot of Wagner because he also had a few theoretical texts about how music came to be, which I will not translate to you because I don't think you would be interested in that. And that's totally okay. It's just something that I have to learn. Next to, I think it's 4 other versions of how music came to be. It's interesting, but it's a bit much, let's say it like this. And my brain freaks me out already. Anyway, so this is what's going to happen in Bayreuth. This is happening in my life right now. So the only thing that's left for us to do in this hopefully very short video is that we're talking about what is going to happen on this channel. I say this channel as if there's anything more than that. No, it's just this channel. So what I thought we were going to do is that we go through all the works. Talked about this. We're going to go through all the works yet again, and we're going to determine kind of the protagonist and the antagonist. And this is sometimes more difficult than you would think if you really look at the history, and if you look at what's actually happening in those works. So yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. Especially there are some that don't even have an antagonist, but there is someone, when you're on the side of the obvious protagonist, that you're like, why are you doing this? Just leave it alone. Keep out of it. This is kind of, by the way, a little spoiler for next week. Because, well, just saying, think about the Dutchman and then tell me who the antagonist is. Like, literally tell me. Because it's hard. Especially because of, we always have to say the voices. Because obviously the higher voices, they are more pure. They are better. So you know where I'm getting to. Like there's not really a bad soprano. Not really a bad tenor. I'm saying not really because we could argue about Brunhilde being a bad soprano considering that she wants to kill her husband. You get what I mean. It's a bit more complicated than it at first looks, which I love about Wagner. By the way, why do I look like I'm a ghost? Heavens, sun is something not pretty. Anyway, it's sometimes more difficult than you would think. And we're gonna talk about it a bit in the next few weeks, and I would love if you would stick with me and tell me your opinion, which I know you don't like to do, but I'd still be interested. I'll just have a few really, really bad theories and you can trash me. And then I'll see if you even listened. No, it's okay. If you want to comment, then comment. But if you don't, you don't. So, next few weeks, 12 weeks? No, 10 weeks. By the way, I'm going to go over the whole ring one by one, because if we say overall, we have a lot of antagonists. But if we go one by one, it's, I think, easier for us. Also, the ring is also... Who's the antagonist in Rheingold? It's a very obvious answer. And I think you would say that there are more people who are antagonists, even though they are not. Just saying. So, this is what we're going to do within the next 10 weeks. Maybe more. Depends on what my schedule will be, and depends on how many antagonists we have in each case. Because sometimes we have more than one, but we have debatable ones. But that might be a different series. Because Kundry, for example, is she an antagonist? Do we think she's an antagonist? Is Fricka an antagonist? She's for Wotan, but is Wotan really the way to go on this? You get what I mean? It's wonderful with Wagner, really. It's not this kind of, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna trash Puccini now. It's not a Scarpia, Tosca. No, it's not. Scarpia's bad, Tosca's good. Yeah, wonderful, great. That's not the thing with Wagner. Wagner's almost every single role is grey. I think there's almost no role who's completely, unashamedly, without anything, good. Just saying. We could probably argue about the E-roles. Yeah, no, we're not gonna talk about the E-roles. Let's just leave them be anyway. So, that's it. Now I'm going to really cut this off. Yeah, see you next week. Have a nice week. Have a nice day. And yeah. Also, if you want to know when they're going to Nibelheim, just saying it's from the 2nd to the 3rd scene. For my lecturer, sorry. She's really nice, by the way. She's really wonderful, and the kind of knowledge she has is quite absurd. She just doesn't know where the Nibelungs come on stage. And I may have made myself, yeah. Well, she might not like me that much after I said that. Anyway, let's go. Have a nice day.